Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are actually me this time. It's not a community replay. I know, it's crazy. How dare I get back in and play the game. Thank you guys for hanging in with me. Thank you guys for enjoying. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the community replays. But this one is just all me. So you guys are going to have to put up with some decidedly mediocre gameplay. No, just kidding, guys. But thank you guys for hanging in with me. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've been struggling lately. There's been a whole bunch of things going on, so you know, I'm trying to maintain. You guys know the deal. We said that we were gonna post every single day of October, and by God, that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna keep the streak alive. We're over halfway. So we are in the Jean Bart. And this is going to be a great teaching game. Not only is it a great game, but it's a great game to showcase a lot of good things that I talk about a lot. On both sides, we're actually going to get some teammates or players on both sides that we need to like complement. Okay, so this one is actually going to be a fun game for you guys. But we're going to initially, spawning on the left side of the map. I don't like to go far left, especially in a battleship. It opens you up too much to being targeted by everybody. It's a very small map, Greece. So early on, we take the shot at the Alabama. Kansas is about to run into me, so we are already trying to dodge him. This is one of the downsides of me trying to get to a specific place on the map is it's hard to pay attention to what your teammates are doing early in the match. But Alabama is angled a little bit here, so we probably should be aiming a little higher to get those pins on the upper side plating. But we do get a couple of pins, and we're up to 13,000 damage. Now, this mines, I looked over and I seen these guys broadside. I look at the mini-map, guys, and when I looked over, the mines had already started shooting at me, and I'm like, okay. Alright, this is called protecting your crossfire. It's not only giving yourself the crossfire, but also protecting the crossfire. Paying attention to who has crossfires on you while you're trying to shoot at other people. Now, this Mines is probably wishing he had not gotten my attention. And if he isn't, then he's about to be. Because this shot comes in blind over the hill. There's no chance that he sees this coming until it's too late. And bonk, there goes another third of his health. This guy's almost dead already. Now, keep that guy in mind, because not only is he going to not die, he's going to be one of the last players alive on his team. Hey, just with that little bit of health. Now, here, I actually make a mistake. I do start targeting the Veneto, obviously, because Veneto is a little over-angled. We can easily chunk him. But we're going to be paying attention to what the enemy is doing. The enemy is grouping all their ships together, and this is never a good idea. But look at our team. Our team, with the exception of the destroyer on the right and the two cruisers on the right, we're doing the same thing. And we've got all of our firepower from all four of our battleships in the exact same location. This is not ideal. The reason this is not ideal is simple. If all of your battleships are in the same location, then you can only shoot at one or two targets at a time, and they are going to be able to effectively angle against all of you. Now here, you can see I am looking at the Bismarck and stuff, but because of the railguns of the Jean Bart, and by railguns I mean the really high velocity guns, they don't have the firing arc that you get on, say, American battleships or especially any sort of cruisers out there. But we don't have the ability to shoot over the islands if we're too close to them. So we start to back up and look at the enemy. We've got two battleships moving into the Bravo cap. One is the Veneto, one is the Zeton. We have a cruiser out there. The Alabama's already dead because first thing you got to do in a battleship is make sure you're just sailing broadside for the entirety of your existence. If you get caught once, everybody have. You know, it happens. You've seen me do it many, many times. I like to get that early turn off. Sometimes it works, sometimes it backfires. And when it backfires, it hurts. But do I just continue to sail broadside when I get caught? No! I make adjustments. You gotta learn to live with screw-ups, alright? You're gonna make mistakes. You gotta make mistakes and then learn from them and continue to fight. Now, our Udachi goes down early, but our Tirpitz manages to take out their Tulsa. That's half their cruiser's firepower gone. We know that the other cruiser has very little hit points. Sure, he could probably heal some of that back, but those were Citadels, so he's not likely to heal a lot of it back. We did help with some AA early, but look at this Veneto. He's overextending. He is not paying attention. We are full speed ahead, engine booster ready. ready to come around the island and absolutely punish the broadside of this Veneto. And this is something this is why we talk about this. This is called counter-rotation. The enemy, or the friendlies, run away from one side, don't support that side, we turn back into the side that they're fleeing from, and you can catch people like this who have pushed forward, trying to take advantage of all of the goodies on one side of the map, and now you're in a perfect position to counter that. We hit him for over 20k. The carrier drops all of his torpedoes. They all land, and the Veneto is going to die here. We didn't even bother using the reload booster because we don't need to. This guy he's screwed. There's nothing he can do here. He's over-angled. He's stopped. There's nothing he can do. He started reversing, but it's too little too late. He's done for. Now here you can see with our counter rotation, the Bismarck is actually running away. Our cruiser is committing what can only be considered suicide. He's legitimately just charging after a Bismarck. Alright? Anytime you're in a cruiser, if you're chasing a battleship, you're probably going to come out on the bottom end of that, right? Cruiser's biggest advantage over battleships is agility. And when you're chasing a battleship, the cruiser that is chasing him is a Hipper. It's very tanky, but the Bismarck's secondaries are much better than they used to be with all of the new perks and stuff that have come out. Like there's so many new things that have made Bismarck and other secondary battleships so much better. Cruisers can no longer get away with just bullying them. Even the Balti. Like I've been in situations where in my Balti I'm like, okay, it's a Bismarck, I'll be fine. Well, then not only is it a Bismarck, but it's a Brandenburg, so I've got double the secondaries, and their secondaries actually deal damage now. So you gotta keep that in mind. You may be able to survive. He may not be able to overmatch you, but you still have a limited hit points. Your heal is not as good as his. Charging after him, especially your torpedoes on the Hipper are only 6 kilometers, so you're not going to win that engagement very often. But because the battleship Bismarck is running away, that means that I am going to try to turn back in and focus the Zeton. I notice that the Zeton is not waiting for me to come around the corner and slap him. He's charging out. So what do? We sit home. There's no reason for us to go around the island. He's coming to us. So we're in a perfect position once again to crossfire him. We aim. He is angled away here, but again, I mean, it's French magic bullets. It's going to be a beatdown regardless. Now here, I'm going to aim a little high because I thought he was going to turn away from us, but he actually triple fires us with the secondaries immediately. Talking about secondaries. But as he turns towards us, he opens up that citadel, and that citadel gets slapped by the French magic bullets that are the Jean Bart. Now, we've dealt with the threats on our left. There are no destroyers left. It's just a battleship, which is the Bismarck on our right. We have an unknown, well, I say unknown, but it's the mines that's on the far side of the map. We know he ain't got no health, and the carrier. So we are in the cap. We're ready to capture the base, and we're trying to look out for the right side of the map to maybe see where this Bismarck is. The enemy carrier is going to try to reset me, and at minimum, he's spotting for his team. So right out the gate, just as we get about 25 seconds in, the Bismarck fires his guns and manages to land a hit to reset us, and then on top of that, we get hit with the skip bombers of the Pobeda. Now, I got to give this Bismarck a little bit of credit. He did what he had to do to survive the Hipper. Hipper's rushing you. You know he's got torpedoes. You turn, you get some distance, keep him at arm's length, you take him down. So well played by the Bismarck there. But he doesn't just keep running away. He knows that if he wants a chance to win this game, he's got to be a little bit more aggressive here. He's got to push in and try to grab that cap, but he's not just pushing in willy-nilly either. He knows that I'm here, and he's doing a decent job. Sure, RNG is playing a little bit of a part in this. You get those French guns, sometimes they get a little bit shotgunny, and that's no exception here. But as you can see, like, the guy is not an idiot. He's actually going to do a pretty good job of not over-angling a whole lot. Now here, he's coming out of a turn. We knew we were going to get a good chunk. Again, not the best RNG, but 6k damage, we'll take it. That's chip damage, we'll take it. Right? We know the mines is shooting at us from over the island on the left, so we're going to push forward using the island cover to our left. You see the giant mountain? Not even a mines can shoot over that if I'm hugging up against it, right? I don't care how far away it is. But this Bismarck is doing a decent job. The cruiser has decided to push in on him. I want to say it's a Saint Louis. And then we are in a good position to help keep pressure on the Bismarck. And despite our terrible RNG, the dude is actually angling decent. We're going for superstructure because there's no chance that if I aim at his belt that we pin, right? Like, he's angling decent. Now he's at an even steeper angle, so those shots are even worse for us. So notice that I'm aiming past him. I'm aiming high. I want these shells to come in at a different angle. I want them to hit the superstructure. And there you can see we're starting to get those 5 penetrations into the superstructure that you know and love. It's only a matter of time. You keep firing the guns. And the good thing about my Jean Bart with Megalomania on is it doesn't have to be accurate. It's accuracy by volume. We are reloading these guns every like 18 seconds, 17 seconds, something like that. I could get that even lower if I wanted, but I don't like sacrificing that much accuracy because it just gets abysmal. But when we get this thing maxed out, the reload on this thing is insane. And that's even when you don't consider the reload booster. But here we aim high, and that's the grouping you'll love to see, and that's going to be a dead Bismarck. Finally getting the grouping that we wanted to go attack that superstructure. And with him turning full in towards us, the superstructure is as thick as it can possibly be, and you're more likely to get full penetrations then, rather than the overpins that you get when somebody's over-angled and you're shooting at superstructure. So little things like that you need to consider as well. And a lot of people don't. But you may not have noticed, we actually just picked up our solo cap. We're at 159,000 damage. And now what can only be described as the world's most boring ending to a match ever, which is a carrier that's just running to the corner of the map, right? We all know where he's going. There's no, like, hiding this from us. This guy is straight up running to the corner of the map like every other carrier player in history. He's not done a bad job. He's done a pretty good job of maintaining pressure on us throughout the match, different areas. We have a battleship that has a clear skies. We have us with 13 planes shot down. But look, we've got a beautiful look at the Pobeda early, and the Pobeda has something that you guys got to realize. Battleship commanders out there, you guys got to realize Pobeda actually has an armored deck. Why is this important? Well, it means that, as you're about to see, as he turns away, the way aiming works in this game is it's an ellipse, right? Like, you got a little bit of an ellipse from your guns to the point of aim, right? Your shells can land anywhere in there. When they're angled away from you like this, your ellipse is almost solely going to attack, like, the ship, right? Like, it's going to hit the ship almost every single time. Problem is, with the armored deck, I can't pin him with AP. Watch. The only shells that will pin him will be like the random shell that hits the side of the ship, right? And even that's not guaranteed. But after a couple of more failed attempts here, we go ahead and switch over to HE. Why do we switch to HE, boys? Because we can't pin with AP, so why not switch to HE? It is something you're allowed to do, and of course that's the time we get the one pin into, I don't know if it's superstructure or if it just came down at the right angle to come in through the deck, but having an armored deck on a carrier is just fucking obnoxious. I apologize for my language, but it really is obnoxious. There's no reason for it. By the time a carrier is being targeted in a match, it's over. They should just die, right? Like, there's no reason to give a carrier an armored deck. But what else do I know? Here we take a blind shot. We know we had already triggered his damage control, so we take a blind shot. Look at that shot. Look at it. Look at it. And unfortunately, we were just a little long. It was good placement. You got to admit, for a blind shot, that wasn't half bad. I didn't pay attention to what his range was. I should have been paying attention to his range here. But here we get the shot out. Another shot of HE coming in. And while we may shatter on his deck, any shells that hit anywhere where, yeah, you can see we do get some penetrations. 4 penetrations, some more damage. And that'll be the end of that. But overall, pretty fun game. A good game to showcase. Like, you don't have to do what everybody else does. And a lot of times, you'll be rewarded for counter-rotating in a map. Pay attention to your surroundings. 3,250 base XP. Again, Jean Bart, one of my most consistent XP producers. Because it's so good about being able to put itself in positions that it can take advantage of. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.